you want to win, then you better get ready to suffer. You better get ready to bleed, because winning ain't something you stumble into. It's not luck. It's not gifted. Winning is earned. Earned in the dark. Earned when you're tired. Earned when everybody else is sleeping and you're still grinding. Champions are not born. They're built. Built through pressure. Built through pain. Built through the moments when everything in you wants to quit, but you choose to step up. You think champions always feel like working. Nah, but they get up anyway. You think they always feel motivated. Nope. But they stay disciplined. They made a decision that their goals were more important than their feelings. That's the difference between people who talk about success and people who live it. See, talkers dream, doers train. Talkers fantasize, doers execute. And champions, they finish. Look, everybody wants to win on game day, but the champion already won during the lonely workouts, the early mornings, the moments when nobody was clapping, and it was just them and their purpose. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you earn. You get what you're willing to suffer for. And that suffering, that grind, that's what molds the mindset of a champion. The truth is, life doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your background, your story, or your setbacks. Life is asking you one question: what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit there and complain? Or are you going to rise, fight, and claim what's yours? You've got a gift inside you, but talent is nothing without effort. Desire means nothing without discipline. You've got to step up. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop looking for the right conditions. There is no perfect time. There is no ideal setup. All you've got is now, right here, this moment. And if you're serious, really serious about becoming a champion, then it's time to stop playing small. It's time to cut off the distractions. Time to stop scrolling and start building. Start training. Start sacrificing. You've got to lock in. A champion isn't just somebody who wins. They're someone who refuses to lose. Someone who looks at adversity in the face and says, not today. Champions aren't scared of failure. They use it. They learn. They adjust. They grow. You don't win by avoiding pain. You win by conquering it. You win by becoming stronger, faster, sharper, more resilient than the problem you're facing. You want that life? Then stop begging for blessings and start becoming the kind of person who can carry the blessing. Prepare yourself. Train yourself. Discipline yourself. The crown comes with a cost. But if you're willing to pay it, if you're willing to go all in, then nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. This is your time, your moment. Step up, put your head down, put in the work, build the mindset of a champion, and refuse to live one more day as less than what you were born to be. Step UP9, champions are made when nobody's watching. That statement holds more truth than most people are willing to accept. Because we live in a world where everyone wants to be seen. Everyone wants the spotlight, the applause, the followers, the validation. But what separates the average from the elite is what happens when there is no audience, no lights, no cheering, just silence, just the sound of your own breathing in a cold gym at 5 a.m. Just the quiet rhythm of your mind saying, keep going, when nobody's there to push you. That's where champions are created, in the unseen, in the uncelebrated, in the unnoticed hours when everything in you says stop, but something deeper says move. You see, people want results, but they don't want the process. They want success, but they don't want sacrifice. And that's why so many never reach the level they claim they want. Because when it's no longer fun, when motivation wears off, when the support system gets quiet, most people quit. But not champions. No, the champion is the person who shows up regardless, who trains even when their body is sore, their heart is tired, and their mind is filled with doubt. They've made a decision to be consistent, not just committed, because commitment is emotional. Consistency is intentional. Champions are intentional. Behind every great moment you've ever seen, every highlight reel, every gold medal, every world record performance, there are thousands of unseen hours, hours of repetition, hours of failure, hours of discomfort. That's the part people don't show you. The cold mornings, the empty arenas, the lonely grind. But that's the foundation. That's the soil where greatness grows. Champions don't just show up and perform. They prepare, they train, they isolate themselves when necessary. They discipline their minds and their bodies. And they understand something the average person doesn't. If you want to perform in the light, you have to master yourself in the dark. The difference between the person who talks about doing something and the one who actually does it, it's not just talent. It's not even opportunity. It's what they choose to do with their private time. See, anyone can show up once. Anyone can post a motivational quote. Anyone can make a New Year's resolution. But only a few will build the habit of greatness behind closed doors. Only a few will say no to distraction so they can say yes to purpose. Only a few will delay gratification, not because it's easy, but because they see the long game, because they understand that real results require time, pressure, patience, and work. Champions develop a relationship with the grind. They stop negotiating with themselves. They stop asking, do I feel like it? And start telling themselves, this is what I do. They wake up early, not because it's trendy, but because they've disciplined themselves to own the morning. They show up to the gym, to the office, to the craft, whether or not they're in the mood. Because they've learned that mood is a poor master, but mission is a powerful motivator. And when you meet a champion, you'll see something in their eyes, a focus, a sense of internal drive that doesn't need praise to stay lit, because they've already proven to themselves that they can do the hard things when no one is looking, that they can fight through fatigue, overcome failure, and keep building when it feels like nothing's happening. That's the edge. That's the mindset. So if you want to win, really win, you have to make peace with the quiet. You have to fall in love with the work no one sees. You have to decide every single day that you will not stop. You will not quit, and you will not wait for permission. You will outwork, outlast, and outfocus everyone around you, and not because you want the world to know, but because you know what you're building. You know what you're after. You know what's at stake. Champions are made when nobody's watching. So ask yourself, what are you doing when no one's looking? That's who you really are, and that's where your greatness will be born. You don't need motivation. You need discipline. That truth right there will change your life the moment you stop arguing with it. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire. Motivation feels good, but discipline gets results. Too many people are waiting to feel ready before they act. They wait to feel inspired before they move. But champions don't operate off feelings, they operate off principles. They've trained themselves to act, not react. And that shift, that mental decision to live by discipline instead of emotion, is what separates the good from the great. Because let's be honest, motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll feel it, most days you won't. Some days you'll wake up hungry, driven, on fire for your goals. But other days, you'll feel tired. You'll feel discouraged. You'll feel like giving up. If your success is based on how you feel, you're never going to build anything that lasts. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't care how you feel. It shows up anyway. It does the work, even when every excuse is telling you to stop. Discipline is what gets you out of bed at 4 a.m. Discipline is what keeps you studying when your friends are partying. Discipline is what puts the reps in, takes the hits, pushes through pain, and keeps showing up even when the progress feels slow. And let's be clear, discipline is not punishment. Discipline is freedom. It's the ability to control your choices instead of letting your impulses control you. It's the decision to say, this is what I need to do, and then do it. That's power. That's self-respect. Because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build confidence, you build momentum, you become someone you can rely on. That's what real champions are made of. Not hype, not luck, not talent, but daily decisions to be excellent regardless of circumstances. Most people don't fail because they don't have dreams. They fail because they lack structure. They lack follow-through. They rely on bursts of motivation, and when that motivation fades, and it will fade, they have nothing to hold them up. But disciplined people, they build systems, they schedule their growth, they create routines that don't require willpower to execute. They show up whether or not they feel like it. And that's why they keep rising when everyone else is falling off. If you want to become a champion in your life, stop chasing the high of motivation and start building the muscle of discipline. It's a muscle, and just like any muscle, it gets stronger every time you use it. Start small, set your alarm, and actually get up when it goes off. Stick to your workout plan, even on the days you don't feel like training. Study when you say you're going to study. Show up for yourself, even when nobody's watching. That's how you build trust with yourself. That's how you create a lifestyle, not just a moment of inspiration. Discipline is what gives you the edge when life hits you, because life will hit hard. Motivation won't survive when things fall apart, but discipline, that's the anchor. It keeps you anchored. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you focused. It reminds you who you are and what you're about. It keeps you locked in on the mission, no matter how loud the distractions get. So don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to feel hyped. Get up, move, do what needs to be done. Because champions don't wait for motivation. They become their own motivation. They've mastered the art of doing what's necessary, not what's easy. And that's why they win. Discipline is the difference maker. It's the heartbeat of every success story. And the best part, it's a choice. Every day, every moment, you get to choose discipline. And the more you choose it, the more unstoppable you become. Excuses are the language of the average. When you want to achieve greatness, you can't afford to speak the language of excuses. The world is full of people who have reasons why they can't succeed, reasons why they're stuck, and reasons why they're not where they want to be. But here's the hard truth: excuses never change anything. They may temporarily ease your discomfort, but they do nothing to move you forward. In fact, they keep you trapped in the same place, in the same cycle of procrastination, fear, and inaction. Winners don't have time for excuses, they have time for results. And they know that every excuse is a step away from their goals. It's easy to say, I don't have time, or I'm not good enough, or I don't have the resources. But think about this: while you're sitting there justifying why you can't, someone else is out there doing it. Someone is getting up earlier, staying later, putting in the work while you're talking yourself out of it. The reason you're not where you want to be is not because of the circumstances you're facing. It's because of the way you're choosing to respond to them. You can either let your excuses control you, or you can take responsibility and rise above them. The choice is yours. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It only cares about your results. Excuses are a comfort zone that stops you from reaching your true potential. They're the stories you tell yourself to explain away your lack of progress. But here's the thing: when you make excuses, you rob yourself of your own power. Every time you justify why something can't be done, you weaken your ability to make it happen. Champions don't talk about what they can't do, they talk about what they will do. They make plans, take action, and keep moving forward regardless of the obstacles that come their way. They know that there will always be challenges, always be setbacks, but they also know that every setback is just a setup for a stronger comeback. The moment you decide to stop making excuses is the moment you take control of your life. Excuses are a form of self-sabotage, a way to avoid facing the discomfort of growth and the reality of hard work. The path to success is not smooth. It's not easy, but that's what makes it worthwhile. You can't grow unless you're willing to push through the resistance, to face the pain, and to continue moving forward even when it feels impossible. The champions of this world have learned this secret: growth happens outside your comfort zone. So if you want to become great, you have to stop making excuses and start making progress. It's time to own your story. Stop blaming your past, your circumstances, or the people around you for where you are today. The truth is, the only thing holding you back is your willingness to make excuses. When you stop blaming and start taking responsibility for your actions, everything changes. The power to change your life is already within you. It always has been. But until you stop making excuses and start taking massive action, you'll never realize your full potential. This doesn't mean that challenges won't come. Of course they will. The difference is that when you stop making excuses, you'll start seeing challenges as opportunities to grow. You'll begin to embrace the hard times, knowing that each difficulty is pushing you to a higher level of strength and resilience. Excuses hold you in the past. Action pushes you into the future. And when you start taking full responsibility for your life, you'll start seeing results that will blow your mind. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to step up and take responsibility for your future? Because there's no one else who can do it for you. Only you can make the choice to stop holding yourself back. Only you can decide to speak the language of results instead of the language of excuses. Stop letting your reasons hold you back from your destiny. The world needs your greatness. It's time to stop making excuses and start making moves. Every setback is a setup for a stronger comeback. Life isn't about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get back up. If you're looking to win, if you're looking to grow, then you have to embrace the reality that setbacks are part of the process. Every great success story you've ever heard, every champion you've ever admired has faced adversity. They've had to overcome obstacles, face failure, and fight through pain. The difference between those who win and those who don't is how they respond to those setbacks. Most people look at a setback as the end of the road, but champions see it as the beginning of something greater. They understand that failure is not a final destination, it's merely a detour. Every time they face a setback, they learn something. Every time life knocks them down, they get up with more wisdom, more strength, and more determination. Setbacks are not signs that you should quit. They are signs that you are pushing your limits, that you are getting closer to your breakthrough. They are the moments where you are tested, and it is in those tests that you discover the depth of your resilience and the power of your persistence. You can't be afraid of failure if you want to succeed. In fact, failure is often the most important teacher you'll ever have. It teaches you humility, resilience, and patience. It shows you where you're weak so you can become stronger. And most importantly, it reminds you that you can't take anything for granted, not even success. You have to fight for it every single day. But the beauty of setbacks is that they are temporary. They may feel like the end, but they are just a pause before the next chapter in your journey. A comeback is born from a setback. The darkness you feel in the moment is the soil from which your strength will grow. The key is to stay focused on the long-term vision, even when things aren't going as planned. It's easy to lose hope when things aren't working out the way you imagined. But when you maintain your focus on what you're building, when you keep your eye on the bigger picture, setbacks become just another stepping stone. They're not obstacles to stop you, they're opportunities to rise. Every time you face a challenge and keep pushing forward, you are strengthening your mind, your spirit, and your will. And each time you overcome a setback, you build an even greater foundation for your ultimate success. But you have to embrace the struggle. You can't look for an easy way out, and you can't shy away from hard work. The champions don't look for shortcuts. They're willing to go through the grind. They're willing to take the punches, and they're willing to put in the time. They don't see setbacks as a reason to quit. They see them as fuel for their fire. They use the pain to motivate them, the failures to sharpen them, and the obstacles to build their character. One of the most powerful things you can do when facing a setback is to reframe it. Instead of seeing it as an insurmountable wall, see it as a lesson, a challenge that is pushing you toward growth. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? Shift your mindset from victimhood to empowerment, and you will see the setback transform into a setup for a comeback. Every challenge you face is molding you into someone stronger, more capable, and more prepared for what's to come. The road to success is not a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and unexpected detours. But if you stay focused, stay strong, and keep moving forward, you'll come out the other side even better than before. So when you face setbacks, don't back down. Don't be afraid of the struggle. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it fuel your drive to keep moving forward. Remember, every setback is just a setup for a stronger comeback. And when you come back from adversity, you'll do so with the power, confidence, and wisdom that will propel you to even greater heights. Focus is your secret weapon. In a world full of distractions, focus is the rarest and most valuable skill you can develop. The ability to concentrate your energy and efforts on a single task, a single goal, with relentless intensity is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who merely wish for it. In today's society, we are bombarded with endless noise, social media, television, emails, notifications, and an overload of information. But champions know that success doesn't come from being everywhere and doing everything. It comes from honing in on what truly matters and blocking out everything else. When you focus, you give yourself the gift of clarity. You eliminate the clutter that confuses your mind and weakens your resolve. Focus allows you to zero in on the important tasks, the steps that will actually move you closer to your goals. It is the foundation of productivity. Without it, even your best efforts are scattered and ineffective. But with focus, your actions become purposeful, your energy becomes aligned, and your progress becomes inevitable. It's not about doing more, it's about doing better with the time, energy, and resources you already have. Focus allows you to create momentum, and momentum is what carries you through the tough times, the moments when it feels like nothing is working and when you want to give up. It's the fuel that propels you forward when everything else seems to be pulling you in the opposite direction. One of the most powerful aspects of focus is its ability to sharpen your decision-making. When you're clear about your goals and priorities, you're less likely to be swayed by distractions or the opinions of others. Focus gives you the strength to say no to things that don't align with your vision. It gives you the power to reject opportunities, events, and commitments that might sound good in the moment, but will ultimately derail your progress. This is a skill that separates the serious from the unserious. People who lack focus are constantly chasing after the next shiny thing, jumping from one opportunity to another without ever going deep or fully committing. But champions understand that success comes from sustained effort in one direction, not from constantly hopping from one idea to the next. Focus keeps you on track, and staying on track is what leads to results. The more you practice focus, the more you begin to realize that distractions are the enemy of your potential. Distractions steal your time, your energy, and your mental clarity. The greatest resource you have is your attention, and when you waste it on irrelevant or trivial things, you are robbing yourself of the opportunity to do meaningful work. That's why it's essential to protect your focus with discipline. This means eliminating distractions before they even have a chance to take root. It means saying no to things that don't serve your mission. It means learning to manage your environment so that you can create the space necessary for deep work, for real progress. for breakthroughs. When you focus, you're giving yourself permission to ignore the chaos and noise around you and give your undivided attention to what matters most. One of the most powerful tools for building focus is developing a routine. Champions don't wait for motivation to strike. They create the conditions for success by building habits that support their goals. A routine eliminates the need for decision-making throughout the day, which reduces mental fatigue and frees up energy for more important tasks. When you have a routine, you know exactly what needs to be done, and you approach it with the confidence of someone who has prepared for success. A strong routine supports your focus by reducing the chance of distraction. It's a structure that helps you stay on track, even when the world around you is in chaos. When you focus on your process, the results will follow. But it's not just about routine or eliminating distractions. It's also about developing the mindset that allows you to stay focused even when the going gets tough. Focus requires mental toughness. It requires you to push through discomfort, to keep going when your brain wants to check out, and to stay locked in when everything in you is screaming for a break. It's easy to stay focused when things are going well, when the path is clear, and when motivation is high. But true focus is tested in the moments when things are difficult. When you face obstacles, when you experience doubt, that's when your focus becomes a weapon. It's in those tough times when the champions dig deep, lock in, and keep their eyes on the prize. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, if you want to be great at anything, you must master focus. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how many resources you have, or how many opportunities come your way. If you cannot focus on what truly matters, if you cannot block out the distractions and stay the course, then you will never reach your full potential. Focus is the key to turning your dreams into reality. It's what transforms wishful thinking into tangible results. So protect your focus, nurture it, and make it your secret weapon. When you do, there will be nothing you cannot achieve. Focus is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to go. It's time to make that bridge your path to success. Success isn't a straight line, it's a series of peaks and valleys. No one reaches their destination without facing obstacles. And if you want to succeed, you must learn to embrace the process, no matter how difficult or uncomfortable it may seem. The road to greatness is paved with struggle, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll start making real progress. Every challenge you face, every setback you encounter is an opportunity to develop the strength, resilience, and perseverance needed to reach your highest potential. You can't avoid adversity, but you can choose how you respond to it. And how you respond will determine how far you go. When things get tough, most people want to quit. They want to give up, throw in the towel, and walk away. But champions don't think like that. Champions understand that adversity is a sign they are on the right track. When you're facing difficulties, it means you're growing. It means you're pushing beyond your limits, and that's where transformation happens. Without struggle, there's no growth. It's the resistance you face that forces you to tap into your deeper reserves of strength and creativity. It's the hard times that forge the character and mindset necessary for success. Champions understand that their greatest victories come not when everything is going smoothly, but when they overcome the toughest challenges with unshakable determination. The key to enduring the tough times is maintaining a strong sense of purpose. When you know why you're doing something, when you have a clear vision of your end goal, the obstacles in your path become less intimidating. The stronger your why, the easier it becomes to push through the pain, the frustration, and the setbacks. Purpose is what fuels perseverance. It gives you the motivation to keep going when your body is tired and your mind is telling you to stop. It helps you stay focused on the bigger picture rather than getting bogged down by temporary discomforts. When you have a strong sense of purpose, you will go through fire and come out stronger on the other side. Another important aspect of overcoming challenges is the willingness to adapt. Life will never go exactly as planned, and success is often not achieved by following a perfect formula. It's about learning to be flexible, to pivot when necessary, and to find creative solutions to the problems that arise. Successful people don't get discouraged by unexpected hurdles. They see them as opportunities to innovate, to try new things, and to grow. They understand that the path to success is not linear, and they embrace the unpredictability of the journey. Adaptability is what allows you to continue moving forward even when things aren't going according to plan. Resilience is a muscle that you build over time. It's not something you're born with, it's something you develop through consistent effort and through repeatedly overcoming challenges. The more you face adversity and choose to rise above it, the stronger your resilience becomes. And resilience is what ultimately allows you to succeed, even when everything seems stacked against you. Every time you bounce back from failure, You become more resilient. Every time you stand up after being knocked down, you reinforce the mindset that success is inevitable as long as you keep fighting for it. So don't be afraid of failure. Embrace it. Failures are simply lessons in disguise, and each one teaches you something valuable that brings you closer to your ultimate goal. Lastly, the most successful people understand the importance of maintaining a positive mindset even in the midst of adversity. It's easy to become negative when things are going wrong, but negativity only holds you back. A positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring the challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on solutions, on what you can control, and on the opportunities that lie within the difficulties. Positive thinking helps you maintain clarity, keeps your energy levels high, and fuels the persistence needed to keep moving forward. When you maintain a positive mindset, you attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right solutions into your life. A positive mindset is magnetic. It draws success to you. In the end, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent or luck. It's the ability to endure through the tough times. It's the resilience to keep going when everything inside of you is telling you to stop. The people who make it to the top are the ones who understand that challenges are just part of the process. They are the ones who don't let failure define them, who use every setback as fuel to push them forward. So embrace the journey, embrace the struggle. Understand that success is not about avoiding challenges, it's about facing them with unshakable confidence and determination. And as you move through the valleys, keep your eyes on the peak, because that's where your breakthrough is waiting.